Wicked, the life and times of the Wicked Witch of the West. Prologue, on the yellow brick road. A mile above Oz, the witch balanced on the wind's forward edge, as if she were a green fleck of the land itself, flung up and sent wheeling away by the turbulent air. White and purple summer thunderheads mounded round her. Below, the yellow brick road looped back in on itself, like a relaxed snooze. The winter storms and the crowbars of agitators had torn up the road, still it led relentlessly to the Emerald City. The witch could see the companions trudging along, maneuvering around the buckled sections, skirting trenches, skipping when the way was clear. They seemed oblivious to their fate, but it was not up to the witch to enlighten them. She used the broom as a sort of balustrade, stepping down from the sky like one of her flying monkeys. She finished up on the topmost bough of a black willow tree. Beneath, hidden by the fronds, her prey had paused to take their rest. The witch tucked her broom under her arm. Crab-like and quiet, she scuttled down a little at a time until she was a mere 20 feet above them. Wind moved the dangling tendrils of the tree. The witch stared and listened. There were 4 of them. She could see a huge cat of some sort, a lion, was it, and a shiny woodman. An animated scarecrow lolled nearby, blowing dandelion heads into the wind. The girl was out of sight behind the shifting curtains of the willow. "Good friends, should we be wary of that storm?" said the girl. The rising winds moved the curtain of greenery at last, and the witch caught sight of the girl. She was not a dainty thing, but a good-sized farm girl, dressed in blue and white checks and a pinafore. In her lap, a vile little dog cowered and whined. "We're safe here," said the Tin Woodman. "Certainly we are not," answered the girl, "because this tree is the highest point around, and if lightning is to strike, it will strike here. Didn't we see a shed farther up the road? Come, Scarecrow, if there's lightning, you'll burn the fastest. Come on!" As the first hard drops of the rain fell, the witch caught sight not of the girl's face, but of the shoes. Her sister's shoes. They sparkled even in the darkening afternoon. They sparkled like yellow diamonds and embers of blood and thorny stars. If she had seen the shoes first, the witch would have been never able to listen to the girl or her friends. But the girl's legs had been tucked underneath her skirt. Now the witch was reminded of her need. Those shoes should be hers. Part 1. Munchkin Ladders. Beneath the spit of the mother's fluids, the infant glistened a scandalous shade of pale emerald. There was no wail, no bark of newborn outrage. There was a salmon effect around the clenched eyelids, a beige effect on the cheeks and belly, and a tawny stripe on the scalp showing the pattern of eventual hair. But the primary effect was vegetable. In a panic, Milena wrote to Colin Grounds to drag Nanny out of retirement. Frexbar went ahead in a carriage to collect Nanny from the way station at Stone's Bar End. On the way back, Nanny asked what was wrong. "Oh, it's the wrong color," said Frex. "What color is the wrong color?" "It's green," he finally said. "Nanny, it's as green as moss." "We'll sort this all out in a flash, and no one will need to know. Does the baby have a name?" "Elphaba," he said. "After Saint Elphaba of the Waterfall?" "Yes. It's a fine old name indeed." Part 2. Gillikin. Madame Morrible scanned the list of names and said, "Very well. To join Miss Galindar of the Arduinas, the Upland, in a double room, shall I invite the Thropther descending of Ness Hardings, Miss Elphaba?" The girl was in the back of the room, a pauper in a red dress with gaudy fretwork, and in clumpy old people's boots. At first the girls in the room thought what they saw was some trick of the light, a reflection off the adjacent buildings covered in vines and flat moss. But as Elphaba moved forward, lugging in her own carpet bags, it became obvious that she was green. A hatchet-faced girl with putrescent green skin and long, foreign-looking black hair. "A Munchkinlander by birth, though with many childhood years spent in the Quadling country," read Madame Morrible from her notes. "How fascinating for us all, Miss Elphaba." "Travel is so broadening," intoned Elphaba. It was then 10 days later that Nanny arrived with Nessa Rose in tow. Had she not been warned? Elphaba and even her friends would not have taken Nesra as Elphaba's sister. She was by no means green, and her deformities, as she had her own, were well concealed in comparison to Elphaba. She was just as Elphaba had said, gorgeous, pink, slender as a wheat stalk, and armless. "Very well," said Madame Marble, "as it should be. Now I believe I have a package for you. It is for Nessa Rose, I think." "Oh, open it, Elfie, please!" cried Nessa Rose. Nanny leaned forward to look. Elphaba undid the cord and opened the wooden box. She withdrew a shoe and then another. Were they silver or blue or now red, lacquered with a candy shell brilliance of polish? It was hard to tell and didn't matter. The effect was dazzling. "Oh, aren't they gorgeous!" Nessa Rose exclaimed. "Elphaba, oh, how they sparkle! Fix them on my feet, would you please?" Elphaba went on her knees before her sister. Nessa Rose sat as regal as any princess of the Emerald City, spine erect and face glowing. "How thoughtful father is!" exclaimed Nessa Rose once more. "They're just gorgeous," Nessa Rose said thickly. "Nessa Rose, they're made for you. They fit like a dream." "Oh, Elfie, don't be rude. Father knows you don't need this kind of thing." Part 3, The City of Emeralds. It was a clammy, late summer evening when Fiyero Tigalar stopped in the Unius Chapel in St. Glinda's Square and said, "Elphaba! Elphaba, it's Fiyero! We knew each other from university." "Sir, I don't believe you know who you are talking to," she said in Elphaba's voice. "I'm not this Elphaba." "But you've got to be," said Fiyero. "Elphaba, the Throckler descending, if I remember the nomenclature, from Dr. Nicodick's lectures in the life sciences." It was a rainy summer night when Elphaba threw herself onto the mount tree, clutching her heart. Fiyero was dead, killed by the wizard's forces. Her heart had been shattered, and a child crawled out of her. She went to visit his father's house in Levincus and said, Part 4 in Levincus, "Call me the Wicked Witch of the West," said Elphaba, "for all its glory." Her child and Fiyero's children all cowered in fear. This is the beginning of something wicked. "Yes, the wizard said to murder you," said Dorothy. "But that's not why I came. When they said it was your sister and that we had to come here, it was like a prison sentence. I never wanted to come, but I thought I would say to you, I would say..." "Say what?" cried the witch on edge. "I would say to you, would you ever forgive me for the death of your sister? For I could never forgive myself." The witch shrieked in panic, in disbelief. The world was a fire above and a flood below. Where was she anymore? Suddenly, there was a fire in her lap. And Dorothy said, "I will save you!" She bought a bucket of collecting rainwater that in the sudden flare-up of light had come up into view. "I will save you!" And she hurled the water at the witch.